What's your take on the potential bailout, the stimulus that we're expecting to hear any moment now from our government, the bailouts of businesses and also the potential checks going out to many Americans? Well, that's what we've got in just a moment. My name's Mike Bernard. Thanks for being with us. This is today's Next Wise Step. It's just past it's early afternoon, let's say, on Monday, March 23rd, and today's your update, the COVID-19 and your money update here from the Wise Money Show and Korhorn Financial Group. Once again, coming to you from my office instead of the studio with a direct message about what's going on in the financial markets and what you need to be doing about it. My guess here, just a quick update here in Indiana and then even just north of our office in Michigan, they're issuing more and more travel restrictions. So my guess is these daily videos are going to be coming to you from my home office instead of my work office. But stay tuned. If you're not already a subscriber to this channel, be sure to do so. Every single day, every single business day, I'm going to be sharing with you some perspectives, some insights as to what's going on during this very volatile and uncertain time in the markets and what you should be doing with your money. All right, so here's what's on my mind today. You might have seen some articles over the weekend, some headlines about corporate bailouts and even the stimulus package that was supposed to get passed last night. But the rumor mill says that it wasn't passed on Sunday because there's disagreement about some of the restrictions with how companies can use these bailout dollars. What do I mean by that? Well, it turns out, as companies over these past several years have had record high profits and have been succeeding very well in this thriving economy, word is that they've been using some of those profits to buy back some of their own shares of stock. And this makes folks like me and some of the financial advisors around here and some folks on Capitol Hill a little disappointed and frustrated now that they've got their hands out looking for a bailout. What do I mean by that? Well, I'm going to take you back in history just a moment. We're going to go back to the 70s, early 70s. We had a really terrible recession, terrible stock market, and at the time, many people had lost their faith in the stock market completely. And so one of the things that capitalism, that companies did at that time was, well, listen, we want to incentivize CEOs of these really big companies to really care about the stock price and really work on building the stock price up so that investors will find the company attractive. And so what they did is they offered compensation packages to CEOs and other executives that included either shares or stock options or so on to incentivize or tie some compensation to these executives and CEOs. You might have been a benefit or a benefactor. You might be compensated in some way based on these systems right now. So here's the issue, right? That's an okay thing for people for these executives of these companies to really care about their share price. The problem is when they do things in the short term to help inflate the share price that are painful and damaging long term. And that's the concern right now. If you're an executive, you're paid very, very well, but if your compensation is tied to the stock market or the stock price of your company reaching a certain level or even going above, one of the ways that you can manipulate that is using profits to buy shares from the marketplace, shares of your own company. Therefore, you still have earnings or profits of a certain level, but when you have fewer shares out there because you've bought them up, your earnings per share is now higher, and that pushes that stock price even higher. So here's the big idea. If you understood any of that, then that's like a 401 level of finance and corporate finance. But if you understood any of that, then you might be appalled to hear that many companies were using their profits over the past several years to buy back shares to make their share price higher, and then now are struggling financially because they don't have the cash to lean on during these difficult times, and they're asking the government for a bailout. One of the hashtags that I saw with this is private profits, but public losses. Meaning when a company has profits, then they use those profits however they see fit. But when they have severe losses, they're reaching their hand out to the public saying, hey, I need help, please bail me out. That just makes me furious, and I hope it does to you as well. So why am I telling you this? To help you lose faith in the markets? No, not for that reason. I'm telling you this so that you're informed, but number two, so that you can take action for your own specific financial life. Don't run your household like that. We've had a 13-year time period, 12-year time period where the economy has been booming. Now I know that's come after a time period that was particularly painful for many folks. And so you might have spent a lot of that time just trying to recover. But during those good years, were you preparing? Were you getting your financial life ready for a potential storm? No one knew a storm was going to come. We never do. But were you doing the right disciplined things in your finances to be as prepared as possible, or are you now relying on a government bailout? These are particularly tough times, and folks, they might get tougher here as we're hearing about more unemployment and layoffs and so on. Make sure you're prepared. Make sure you're doing everything possible so that you have a solid financial footing no matter what the future holds. Don't rely on bailouts from the government or from other institutions to help you get through this tough time. Make the tough choice, be responsible, and be financially ready. To me, that always points back to having a comprehensive financial planning approach, looking at all 6 areas of your financial life in synergy so that you're making decisions that make sense for all 6 areas and working with your certified financial planner to do that. So that's the action item for today. Some of you, it could be making sure that you've got that emergency fund fully funded or using any potential bailouts to shore that up. Could be building up your, redoing your budget and making sure that you're prepared for what might lie ahead, making some adjustments. It could also be starting a comprehensive financial planning relationship right now or contacting your CFP if you don't have a meeting on the books. A couple other public service announcements that I'd make. We're probably going to get a bailout at some point today. Again, this is early afternoon Eastern time that I'm recording this, so I expect within hours we're going to get an announcement of a bailout. So expect to hear right here on this channel the details of that bailout and that stimulus package tomorrow or the next day. As soon as it comes out, I'll give you the details here and how it applies to you. Second, we did officially get word from the IRS over the weekend that they've extended the tax filing deadline. You remember last week they extended the payment deadline, but you still needed to file by April 15. They've extended that out to July 15. But I would still encourage you, get your taxes done. If you're expecting a refund, get that money in your pocket. Get your return done so you've got those refund dollars in your pocket. But if you think you're going to owe, or if you're a small business owner or you usually pay estimates as well, still get your return done now so that you can see how much you're going to owe, and then you can plan from cash flow as to how you're going to come up with that money or come up with your estimate amount by July 15. We've got extra time to plan here. Let's use it. Let's use it. I know we're all busy, we're all scrambling trying to adjust to this, but still get your taxes done on time, even though that deadline's pushed out, so that you either have the cash in your pocket or that you have the clarity over how you need to manage cash flow to come up with the payment. So our team is still able to help, even if we have more travel restrictions coming up. We're still working all the time doing taxes, preparing taxes, have already done a couple thousand, so let us know how we can help you. All right, more tips coming up as to how, what things you need to do in your financial life to take your next wise step. So be sure, if you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe here, share this video, comment below, and make sure you turn that notification bell on so that each day, as I'm providing an update, you're notified and you can come in and catch the content. All right, my name is Mike Bernard. On behalf of myself and all of us here at Corcoran Financial Group, you're ready. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.